Man, it's playoff time. It's playoff time. It's championship time. I'm in character, clearly. It's gangster time. It's time for the 49ers to get real gangster on these dudes. And Jimmy G is the G for gangster because dude's clutch. I feel like a lot of people kind of glossing over that. We're going to talk about all that and more. You know what it is, man. San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. Let's go.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Eric Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace. Welcome to another episode of the San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. I'm your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. And today, man, I'm coming to Jimmy Garoppolo's defense. I'm coming to his defense just a little. All right. Now, we're going to get to the details of some things. Now, no. Again, we're talking about the quarterback. Yes, we're talking about the quarterback. He's the most important player out here. 49ers football team is loaded. And the questions start and end with Jimmy Garoppolo. So we're going to get into all that and more. But first, if you haven't already, make sure you guys listen to my show, man. Locked On 49ers with myself, Brian Peacock. Also, listen to Locked On NFL Draft. I know it's not draft season for the 49ers yet, but it's always draft season for someone. So make sure you guys tune in, listen to Locked On NFL Draft with myself and my co-host, Ryan Tracy. All right, we're there 5 days a week. Also, Locked On 49ers 5 days a week. Make sure you guys tune into that. It's in the description below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff if you're new to this. But it's time to get real gangster right now for the 49ers. You got the Rams coming in, or all those Rams are coming in, 49ers coming in, SoFi Stadium, Levi South, wherever you want to, however you want to call it. But they got a mutual site game right now going on at Levi South. All right, SoFi Stadium, taking on the Rams. And all I'm seeing is a lot of Jimmy Garoppolo talk. In a way, I get it. Jimmy G, he's kind of a somewhat of a liability, but then not because you still win. We're gonna get into all that. First, I got a couple super chats starting the day off. This is good, my guy Gammon. Here we go. 2 super chats back to back. One, I don't think I've ever seen a team unintentionally provide so much bulletin board material. Habitual line steppers. Okay. I like it. Maybe they do know and they just don't care. 2, number 1, Debo, who? A head coach all up in the end zone like Diddy and the rappers videos. 3 Ticketmasters. Rams should be motivated. I know. You know what? I'm seeing the Ticketmaster thing. From what I understand, Ticketmasters was all right. We're catching a little heat from the 49er side. Let's take this whole ban off or whatever the Rams are trying to do. So I think Ticketmasters, I think they righted it wrong. All right, but yeah, the Rams, it's just the way to come up. First of all, they in LA. You know what I'm saying? And we know LA is, it's always the stars and all that type of stuff, right? The lights, the bright lights. And I think Sean McVay, he kind of carries that on. He carries on that, like, the mystique of Los Angeles and his look and, his chick and, their houses and all that type of stuff. He's like, that's LA. And the way they carry themselves, the way the Rams carry themselves is real LA-like. And when I say LA, I ain't talking about like, Crenshaw and Slauson, LA. Like, I'm talking about like, LA, what's that with the stars on the street? Hollywood Boulevard. They carry themselves like that. Appreciate the contributions early on. Here we go, man. So let's get into it. I really, it's crazy that I'm the one that has to come to defense of Jimmy Garoppolo. But I think his name has kind of been drug in the mud a little bit over the last couple of days. I feel like it's really clear who and what Jimmy Garoppolo is. I should actually have this on Twitter. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. I'm going to put this on Twitter real quick. I feel like it's really clear who and what Jimmy Garoppolo is. But he's getting drugged through the Twitterverse right now. And I feel like I get some of it that's warranted, right? Just in the sense of the eye test. It looks a little odd. But the 49ers win a lot of games with him. Now, I think there's two drastically like different sides to this, how people are taking it. There are some people that think, oh man, like they win in spite of Garoppolo. And I think there's something to that. There's some people that believe they win because of Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think there's something to that. All right. I'm going to argue for both sides today. Then I'm going to let y'all come on and tell me what you feel about this whole thing. I know we talk about Jimmy a lot, but listen, all organizations, any podcast that you jump on right now, they're going to be talking about the quarterback position. They get paid the most. It's just the most polarizing position. And most teams go as far as their quarterback goes. So that's what teams are discussing. That's what podcasts are discussing. A quarterback. And 49ers. That's what we're discussing. The 49ers quarterback. And when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think I've ever seen a fan base so split on one guy. So split. I try to play it neutral. I know what he is and what he isn't. But I feel like there's a part of the crowd, the 49er fans that hate. I don't want to say hate Jimmy G. That's a strong word. They think that he's terrible. And there's another part that's like, dude, he's the reason why you win so many games. Look at the 49ers record without him. There are a lot of statistics that work really in both favors. All right. I've seen numbers. One, the main number that's going to work in Jimmy Garoppolo's favor is the amount of wins that he has when quarterbacking the 49ers. Even you look in the playoffs, Jimmy Garoppolo now has 4 playoff wins. 4 playoff wins. But then somebody that will argue against him would say, well, in those 4 playoff wins, he's averaging like 120 passing yards and has only thrown 1 touchdown pass. And his 1 touchdown pass in his 4 playoff wins came on the very first drive of the first playoff game that he ever played in. And that was the pass to Kendrick Bourne, Justin for Kendrick Bourne. So I get it from a statistical standpoint, but I think we got to kind of like throw this stats out, right? And I see my guy Jason Walsh here. He says this playoffs he has 1 TD and 4 INTs. I don't even think he has a touchdown pass. Did he throw one against the Cowboys? No, because Deebo Samuel threw a touchdown. No, he did throw one. He threw one to no? So, nope, that wasn't the playoffs. I'm thinking of the Rams game because that was like a playoff game on my mind. When I played the Cowboys, he didn't throw no touchdown. Deebo had a rushing touchdown. Deebo had a throwing touchdown. Mitchell had a rushing touchdown. So when you say this playoffs he has 1 TD, I think that's just the 49ers. They really haven't had TD drives like that. He has no touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. That's not ideal. I agree. Not ideal. But I do think the reason why the 49ers have been able to win so many games with Jimmy Garoppolo, there's something to it. Again, we've talked about it. Grant Cohn said it. The arsonist and the firefighter, right? He's kind of starting the fires and he's putting the fires out. But I think like that's been him throughout his time with the 49ers. He's done a lot. He's done a good amount to keep 49ers in games, right? When Jimmy Garoppolo is at quarterback, you don't get blown out. A lot of teams get blown out. You're not getting blown out with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. I can guarantee this. With Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, you always have a chance to win. Very rarely are there any games that get away from the 49ers. Very rarely are there games with Jimmy Garoppolo where the 49ers lose by more than 1 score. I think the Cardinals game with Colt McCoy, and I don't know what happened in that game, and that might have been one of Jimmy Garoppolo's best games. You know what I'm saying? But very rarely are you not in contention to win a football game with Jimmy Garoppolo. So I do think that there's value with that. There's value with the fact that no matter what the circumstances, and we can talk about how great this 49ers team is, it's a loaded roster, in my opinion. It's a loaded roster. I'd almost go as far as to say 49ers kind of underachieving right now. And when I say underachieving, I mean in the full extent of what they should be able to do with the talent really on both sides of the ball. Not underachieving in the sense of the results of being in the NFC Championship game. Like, that's big time. But I feel like there's another level to this team that should be kicking everybody's ass, and they're not getting there, right? They're not getting there. But at the end of the day, regardless, with Jimmy, you are going to be in contention to win the game. Now, my guy Mike Shields, this is a great stat. We were in contention with Brian Hoyer. We lost 7 of 9 games by 3 or less points. I remember 5 straight at one point, right? And the thing that makes Jimmy Garoppolo better than a guy like Brian Hoyer is he has a clutch gene. And that's what this is about. Jimmy G, a.k.a. Mr. Clutch. So there got to be something to that. So there's this stat, and let me go to it right now. One, we'll go to what I said. All right, go to what I said. And I've said this on the podcast. Listen, a lot of y'all come in here and you guys listen to me talk every single day. And you've heard me say it. Not many quarterbacks I'd rather have on my team than Jimmy Garoppolo. Or there's not a lot of guys I would like quarterbacking with the ball in their hands, 3 minutes left. Aside from Jimmy Garoppolo. There's not a lot. All right, but I also said this, and let me put this on the big screen. Shout out to my people over at the Locked On Network. They made this into a graphic. All right, once it's a graphic, you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't take it back. But I ain't taking it back. I mean it. All right, so here we go. Let's get into it. Share my screen. And this is going to go to what our guy is saying. How many QBs would you rather have for a game? And a lot of people are I don't know why they are mixing this up or turning my words into something or not understanding the context of this. But my good folks at Locked On podcast says, how many QBs would you rather have for a game-winning drive than Jimmy G? Locked On 49ers host Eric Crocker says, not many. And this is my direct quote. Last couple of minutes of a game, there are only a couple of quarterbacks that I'd rather have with the ball in their hands than Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, there might be some people that you're like, you know what? Yeah, I would have him, like, cool, whatever. But I mean, like, if we're just talking about it's the last 2 minutes, and if I can't have Jimmy Garoppolo, what guys do I have? It's Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. That's it. Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, those are the only 2 quarterbacks in the NFL that I would rather have the ball in their hands than Jimmy Garoppolo. I've been saying that on this podcast, right? And then somebody tags me in this. A lot of people disagree with me. And then somebody tags me in this. Where is it at? Hold on. Here we go. And they bring this up. And this was from yesterday. And it's crazy because obviously my quote came out yesterday. I've been saying this for a while. And this guy says it. I don't believe he's a 49er guy. NFL writer. He's just an NFL writer, not a 49er guy. And he said, here's an update list. 49er fans might be interested more than most here. Why would the 49ers be interested? Because Jimmy Garoppolo is sitting right here at number 2 in fourth quarter comebacks, that's game-winning drive opportunities. And not only that, this year's win-losses, right? 10 wins, 9 losses. That doesn't take into account the Green Bay game, where in the last 2 minutes, he drove the 49ers down the field, scored a touchdown with 37 seconds left, no timeouts, and the 49ers still lost that game. That doesn't, well, it does take into account, but it doesn't go towards wins. He gets hurt by a Tennessee game where last seconds of the game, he drives down with a minute left, 49ers score a touchdown. Now, is it all him? No. Deebo Samuel had a big running catch after, in that Titans game. But at the end of the day, Jimmy Garoppolo, with 2 minutes left, he's money. And we have seen it consistently, and this backs it up. This backs up everything that I've been saying. This backs it up. Matter of fact, 52%, 51%, he got the highest percentage. These are fourth quarter. I don't know exactly how to look at it. But at the end of the day, he's second on this list to Tom Brady. So I've been saying this for a while. And a lot of y'all that have been listening to me, y'all hear me say this. And those numbers back up what I've been saying. And then it's crazy because I'll see people, in the comments or whatever, or quote tweeting, and they're like, what, really? Jimmy Garoppolo? And it's like, man, y'all low-key got Jimmy fucked up. You are right in the sense of the first 57 minutes of a game. There are probably 15 to 20 quarterbacks I'd take over him. If you're saying, all right, you got to start your season with a quarterback, All right. There are, for this 49ers team that I feel like has a really good roster and really kind of loaded, right? Look at 49ers roster, how it's constructed. There are a good amount of quarterbacks I would take over them. But when it comes down to the last 3 minutes, there's only one or two. I'd say Patrick Mahomes, too. Two quarterbacks I would take over Jimmy G. So when I see this right here from my guy Mike Shields, excuse me, we were in contention with Brian Hoyer. We lost 7 out of 9 games by 3 or less points. The biggest difference, Jimmy G got that clutch factor. And I feel like at this point, it really can't be disputed. Like, how do you even argue against it? How do you argue against the fact that at the end of the day, with Jimmy Garoppolo, you're going to be in games. Yeah, he's going to do some weird things to make it to where you can't blow teams out. But when it comes down to it, the last 2 minutes, I'm calm. I'm as calm as can be. Because I know Jimmy Garoppolo is going to come through. I don't know why I feel like that. Well, I do know why. Because I see it all the fucking time. I see it all the time. The Jimmy attacks are tired. People magnify the mistakes he makes, but but don't give him any props for the plays he makes to put the 49ers in position to win. I'll say this, and again, my guy 49er faithful, is because a lot of the reason why the 49ers are in that position is because of the mistakes that Jimmy makes. Now you can say everybody throws interceptions, everybody has mistakes, everybody has missed throws, and that is true. But when you can't make people forget about those things, and when I say make people forget about it, I mean more times than not when we're watching Jimmy Garoppolo, he strings together some kind of weird moments, right? And makes it to where a 23-7 lead over the Dallas Cowboys ends up being a one-score game and the Cowboys being able to win. Like, why is that? Right? So that, there's that aspect of it. Jimmy has a tough time putting teams away because of a lot of the mistakes he makes. So that's what they see. And it's tough. And they're not wrong. I don't think people are necessarily wrong for the attacks on Jimmy G, but I think they're wrong in a sense of overlooking certain aspects of him. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a lot of what the people that are they're down on him. He has a lot of that in him. Like, a lot of it's justified. And when you look at a lot of the numbers, aside from wins, a lot of it is justified. But the wins are happening. And I think, a lot of it, here's one thing. Here's one way to look at it. And that's the Croc, that small sample size, that's misleading. Chris, how is that a small sample size when he hasn't really started a whole bunch of games? So it's a smaller sample size in the sense of it's a small sample size in the sense of like some of these other people that have had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 full seasons. Jimmy's had 2 full seasons. And so if you do like how they do per capita or whatever they call it, per capita, whatever. If you go that direction with it, that's a pretty good sample size. If you compare the amount of games that he has played, the amount of games he has started, and then factor those numbers in and compared to everybody else's, it's per capita, he's better than everybody but Tom Brady at it. We can only go off of the games that he's played. And with the games that he's played, he's converting at a high rate. So I don't think I disagree. Chris Roscoe's. Still checking in on the chat. Appreciate everybody's in here right now. If you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube, man. Type in Eric Crocker. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell so you're alerted when I go live. All that good stuff. We're here 5 days a week, 5 mornings a week. Won't be here this Friday. I got to travel to Mobile, Alabama. Croc, you hiding a hangover or a black eye? No black eye. The wife didn't beat me up or anything like that. But it's just gangster time, you know what I'm saying? So, you throw the lokes on and it's that time. It's nut cutting time, NFC Championship game. So I'm going to be in character all week for the rest of the week. So, yeah, I hear people in, I was getting into it. I don't want to say getting into it, but I had a disagreement with someone on Twitter today, and he's like, he hates that Jimmy Garoppolo gets so much credit. And I'm like, man, if you listen to the 49er fan base, I don't think he gets the credit that people think. Again, the fan base is split. His coach tried to get rid of him. That's the most telling thing. If you want to know anything about Jimmy Garoppolo and who he is, that water was good. If you want to know anything about Jimmy Garoppolo and how he's viewed by his staff, that the players love him. Great leader, doesn't flap, all that good stuff. You know you can win with him. But if you want to know the real, just look no further than the fact that Kyle Shanahan looked under every rock, turned over every stone to get him up out of here. He wanted Matthew Stafford. He wanted Deshaun Watson. That should let you know how he feels that what he's doing with Jimmy Garoppolo is limited. And I don't think it had just, it's because what do they say? The injuries. It's not all injuries. It's not all injuries. Not even close. Obviously, the injuries have led to him missing more games than you would ideally like. And Chris, I see the link. Check your Twitter. The link is in there. Check your Twitter DMs. I'm gonna bring everybody on in a few minutes. If you're on Twitter right now and you want to come over and get in live on the show, come over. I'm about to post a link in the chat so everybody can come on live and talk to me about how I'm wrong about Jimmy Garoppolo being one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't know, man. I think that I get it. He ain't gonna be here next year. That part is clear. You can't watch these games and how they transpire and how he struggles to put teams away and how he kind of limits certain things and how you're living on the edge and your heart is shaking and all that and near picks and all this. You can't watch all that and be like, oh yeah, Kyle's definitely gonna deal with this another year. No, but Kyle probably has enough arrogance in himself. I don't want to say arrogance. Clearly, we know Kyle's kind of, but he knows, like, if I can just get a little bit more, if I can get 10% more from the quarterback position, I'm good. Trey Lance got about 50% more in the bag. Will he reach that? We don't know. We don't know. But he got a good amount in the bag. Here we go. I got my guy Chris coming on. He gonna have something to say. Here we go. All right, Chris. Let me hear it. How am I wrong?
What's up, Croc? What's up, Croc? Croc, man. First off, sorry, I had to move some stuff. First off, Croc, you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Jesus, man. Well, today's hump day. Is today hump day?
Tuesday.
Oh, today's Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. All right, Croc, look. Happy Tuesday, man. You making me the bad guy, Croc. Why are you making me the bad guy, man? Why are you making me the bad guy? First off, let's get these numbers right. Let's get these numbers right for his, what is it? His last let's just talk about his last 4 games of the season. Jimmy Garoppolo's last 4 games of the season. How many touchdown passes does Jimmy have in the last 4 games of the season? Do you know,
I'd
Croc?
say 3. That's off the top of my head. I mean, I can go back and look at the games, but I know he played against Tennessee. He had 2 touchdowns in that game, right?
Actually, I'm
2
sorry.
touchdown passes?
No, yeah, his last 3 games. His last 3 games, he has.
The Rams?
No. I'm gonna tell you right now. His last 3 games. His last 3 games. Actually, let's his last 4 games. Let's go his last 4 games. I'm gonna give him a little credit. His last 4 games, he has 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. That's your guy. 2 touchdowns.
Who?
6
Wait,
interceptions.
that's whose guy?
That's your guy, Croc. That's your guy. That's your guy, Jimmy Garoppolo. 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, we're getting on Jimmy too hard or we're doing this. That is, bro, if that was any other quarterback, he would be getting trashed. He has very staunch, hard supporters. and then using that comeback stat, bro. Look at everybody else on that list. Like, that's a small sample size. And why is it a small sample size? Because Jimmy gets hurt. That's his fault. He's an injury-prone quarterback who turns over the ball at will. Bro, Josh Allen is at home, and he threw 9 touchdown passes and 0 interceptions in the playoffs. But because of Garoppolo have an all-time great defense that should get mentioned in the history books if we make the Super Bowl, that we're even in this far. He's got 0 TDs in the playoffs and 2 picks. He is literally on the Trent Dilfer. He's literally on the Trent Dilfer train.
He is Trent Dilfer. He's Jimmy Dilfer. He is Jimmy Dilfer.
He is Jimmy Dilfer. So do you give Trent Dilfer all this credit?
Listen. The only credit I'm giving Jimmy G. Hold on, Roscoe. The only credit I'm getting Jimmy G is that he's clutch. Is Jimmy not clutch?
Jimmy is definitely clutch. I am not.
Is he one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the NFL?
No, I'm not giving that to you, bro. First off, you take Jimmy G over Josh Allen in clutch?
In clutch.
In clutch. Are you taking Jimmy G over Josh Allen? Forget the stat. Do you take Jimmy G over Josh Allen?
Yes.
I'm blocking you, Croc. I am going on Twitter right now. I'm blocking you. Are you kidding me, Croc?
Chris,
are you serious?
Listen, I can't
do you take him over Derek Carr in clutch situations?
I'm taking him over everybody except for Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes.
Oh man, that's crazy, bro. Croc. Derek Carr has 24 fourth quarter comebacks and 30 game-winning drives. You're taking Jimmy Garoppolo over Derek Carr in clutch situations? You see, this is the problem with the stat. It's a small sample size. Derek Carr has a bigger sample size. He has 24 comebacks, 30 game-winning drives. One year, he led the league in comebacks with 7. Come on, Croc.
Listen,
are you kidding me?
That's good and all. But no, I'm taking Jimmy G.
Oh, Jesus. And then you use the Titans game.
Somebody in the chat said, I think Jimmy paid Croc today.
Bro, I just can't believe it. Wait, hold on. Just because we know who Jimmy is doesn't mean that we cannot slander him to the ends of the earth. Just because we know who he is doesn't mean that doesn't make it okay. Just because I know somebody's a thief doesn't make it okay. No, listen, they're gonna have to get it.
Chris, I'm not saying Jimmy is great.
I know
I've been on record of saying that he's gonna be gone next year. I would have benched him after the Cardinals game, right? I know what he is and what he isn't. And he's a lot of weird, right? But in the last 3 minutes,
no,
every time I watch him, are you okay? What's when the last 3 minutes? Because that's what we're talking about here. We ain't talking about whole games. In the last 3 minutes of games, and Jimmy has the ball in his hands. How confident on the scale of 1 to 10 are you that he's going to lead the team down and score points?
3. I'm never confident with him throwing the ball. I'm never confident with him throwing the ball, bro.
He's showing you over and over that that's his strength.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you something right
everybody
now.
Got strengths and weaknesses, right? Everybody got strengths and weaknesses. Everybody got areas where they're better than and not and whatever, right? I got my strengths and weaknesses, things I'm good at, things I'm not good at, whatever, right? There's some things, you can ask my wife, right? Well, Eric's really good at this. Okay, I know Eric's not really going to do this. I know he's not going to do that. I know what Jimmy is and what he isn't. But one thing that I do know is in the last 3 minutes, he comes through time and time and time again. It's very seldom he doesn't come through in that time. I know everybody points to the Super Bowl. Obviously, that's one scenario. Or maybe the Seahawks earlier this year when the ball got batted down the line of scrimmage. That was wide open, though. He comes through time and time again.
Can I give you another number? Can I give you another number?
Okay, let me hear it.
If he's such a clutch and amazing quarterback, why does he have the worst fourth quarter QB rating in the playoffs?
Because that's the entire fourth quarter. That's not counting the last 3. I am talking about purely the last 3 minutes.
That's what clutch happens. He is the worst fourth quarter QB in the playoffs.
No,
We want to
because
throw
you're
out
factoring
numbers. We're
in.
gonna throw out
Listen,
numbers.
if we're talking about for 57 minutes of the game, yeah, like there's a lot of quarterbacks that will take over.
No. We're
I'm
only
talking
talking the
about
fourth
specifically
quarter.
the last 3 minutes. So when you say fourth quarter, like that's counting the other, the other 12 minutes of the fourth quarter. Yeah, 12 minutes. You might get 12 bad minutes of them. But when the game is on the line, that last 3 minutes, there's not many quarterbacks better than them. The stats prove it.
Correct. Those are okay. Okay, I got you. In
But I've been saying
2019,
this. So I know those stats, you can say small sample size, but I've been saying this. This is not
okay,
something that like
I'm
out of
gonna
nowhere
get
I
you.
just came up with
I'm
this.
gonna get you on one. In 2019, a lot of people in the offseason was criticizing Jimmy G deep ball, right? And then his supporters will come back and say, "Well, he had the highest completion, with deep balls. He completed like 50-something% of his 50-something% of his passes, which led to NFL in deep ball accuracy." Now, Croc, tell me if that's cap or not. Keep it 100. Is that cap or not?
Okay, but that's different.
No. You can't
That's
pick and choose.
different.
Remember, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, but guess what they do? They mislead. And we all know that was a misleading step amongst deep balls because guess what? He had a very small sample size. You had Russell Wilson, Brady, and other quarterbacks way more attempts throwing the deep ball, so their numbers are going to be lower. This is exact the same thing, Croc. I just used an
No,
argument against you, Croc. Tell me
it's
that's
not.
not
It's
cap.
not. The reason why it's different though is because you only have a small. You only have. There's only so many times that you have the opportunity to have that game winning drive. You know what I'm saying? So like all game, you can target, you can throw deep all game if you want. But the last 3 minutes, that comes down to circumstances. Part of the reason why is because he gets you there, right? We know, but so that's why it's such a smaller sample size.
All right. Okay, I got another one for you. In that
Okay,
Packers game,
I'm ready.
in that Packers
Okay,
game, Kyle Shanahan on our final when we needed a first down on third and I think there was like 37, right? Shanahan had a pass play called. And then I don't know if the Niners took a timeout or something happened, but Shanahan thought about it and said, "Wait, hold on. How am I going to pass the ball? I'm going to give the ball to Debo Samuel
no,
because that's
no,
the clutch guy. That's the guy we
no,
rely on." Yes, that's what
no. That
Kyle
is not
Shanahan
why
said
he
that.
did that.
Yes, he said it.
No,
He said it,
that's
not
not
me.
why he did that.
What?
I'm gonna
Why
tell
he
you
do
why
it?
he did that. All right,
Why he do it?
because
Tell me.
first of all, we got to understand situational football, which everybody says Kyle Shanahan is bad at, but this situation proves that his clock management and all that was on point. All right, let's talk about it. So there's about a little bit over a minute left, right, in the game, and you have an opportunity right now. The Packers, they have 0 timeouts, right? You got your
Mm-hmm.
timeouts left or whatever. You got 1 or 2 timeouts
Mm-hmm.
left. Packers have 0 timeouts. So you have an opportunity to, one, if you throw the ball, there's a little bit over a minute left. You throw the ball right there and you throw an incompletion, clock stops.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do? Do you kick a field goal from there? If you do and you miss, then Aaron Rodgers has a minute to drive to get in field goal range. But if you run the rock, if you run it, regardless if you pick up the first down or not, you get to kill 40 seconds of that clock. All right. So if you don't say you get 2 yards on the carry, at least we get to run the clock down to about 20 seconds left. You're in a little bit better position to kick a field goal, right? Or you end up, oh, we got a first down. Now we can kill the rest of the clock. But I don't think it was because I just don't want to put the ball in Jimmy G's hands because his initial thought was to throw the ball.
Okay, correct.
Luckily, somebody
I
from
got
a
a
clock
counter.
management standpoint got in his head.
I got a counter for that. Okay. Yes, that's situational football. I understand it. You don't want to throw and stop the time. But guess what? Guess what, Croc?
And are we going
I
to
think
acknowledge that clock management from Kyle Shanahan? Because everybody talks about how bad he is with clock management.
no.
Nobody wants to
He
bring that
did
up. But go ahead.
he did an excellent job. You know what he did? And I said this. He gave his best. He put the ball in the hands of his best players. I think Jimmy G was 2 for 2 on that drive. Kittle caught one, and then they ran the ball with Debo. Like you, just what the Chiefs do. The Chiefs, what did the Chiefs do usually? They get their best players to football. Who caught the game winner? Kelsey. Who scored some of the big touchdowns? Tyreek Hill. You get your best players of football. And finally, Shanahan said, "I'm done with all of this mess. I'm gonna run. Take us home, Debo. Take us home, Kittle, Debo." But this is what I want to say to you, Croc. I've seen this situation before. I've seen the Chargers on fourth. Actually, they did it on fourth down, but I've seen the situation. If they don't complete it, they're giving the ball back to Mahomes. Well, their coach is like, "Oh no, I'm gonna put the ball on my best player. His name is Justin Herbert." I seen it last year in the playoffs with Tom Brady. They put the ball in his hands, and they had an opportunity to give it back to Aaron Rodgers, but they say, "You know what? No, we're gonna put the ball in Tom Brady's hands and let him do it." He had to do it twice. I also seen it with Patrick Mahomes. I seen it with Patrick Mahomes versus the Buccaneers, where if they don't get this first down, they're gonna have to give it. And this was on a run where they could have ran it. He said, "No, I'm gonna give the ball to Tyreek Hill." What's his name? Coach Andy Reid put the ball in his quarterback's hand. I've seen time and time again where if your quarterback, that clutch quarterback, you say, I've seen other quarterbacks in that situation pass the ball. So Kyle Shanahan could have passed the ball if he truly believed in his quarterback, if he truly believed in that clutch
that
guy.
would be the wrong thing to do as far as clock management goes.
It's not the wrong thing to do.
If the ball hits the ground, right? We're talking about the elements. You're talking about the weather, all this stuff. The ball hits the ground. We're talking about a minute left on the clock.
But what I'm saying, Croc, is those,
or you gonna do punt? Like no, it absolutely had everything to do with clock management with him running that ball. It was a smart thing to do.
What I'm saying though is that they believe so much of their quarterbacks that they don't believe that's the wrong decision. They put the ball in their quarterback's hand because they know they're going to end the game.
That's why the Chargers. That's why the Chargers are at home right now.
Okay, what about the
Chiefs? A game against the Kansas City Chiefs, going for it 100 times on fourth down in several situations and scoring in a game that went into overtime and had no business going into overtime. And next thing you know, the goddamn Chargers missed the playoffs by half a game.
What about the Chiefs? What about the Chiefs?
What about them?
You said that's why the Chargers are home. I gave you three different. I said Chiefs, Chargers, and Buccaneers.
Listen.
Only one is not the playoffs, bro. Come on, Croc. Come on, Croc. Don't do that. Look. At the end of the day, look. I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, but at the end of the day, look. I'm never comfortable with Jimmy G throwing the ball. I don't care if it's in the last minute and 30 seconds. I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat can say when Jimmy G is throwing the ball, they are literally sweating, sitting back in their chair, dreading what's going to happen. And yeah, he may get it done, but I'm never confident. I'm never confident.
Chris, I agree with that, but not in the last 3 minutes.
In the last 3 minutes, Croc, I'm still dreading. Every time he throws ball, it's a possibility of being picked off.
I track my heart rate, right? Like on my Apple Watch. My heart rate when Jimmy Garoppolo has the ball with 3 minutes left is like calm. It's like resting. You would think I'm asleep. You would think I'm dead. That's how calm my heart rate is.
Croc, I'm gonna make a shirt for you saying "Stop the cap, Croc. Stop the cap." All right, bro. I'm not gonna hold up. I know other people want to get on, but
yeah.
Look. If Jimmy wins the Super Bowl, bro, look, trust me, I'm gonna be the first one going crazy. And remember, I put Jimmy G on that on the Cowboys edit. So like, I support the guy. He's our quarterback. I want us to win the Super Bowl with him. Trust me, I need this Super Bowl. I'm gonna be at the game Saturday, so if any of y'all gonna be there, you're gonna see a fat black guy with a fat gold chain and whatever, you know what I'm saying, wearing all black. But anyways, look, I want Jimmy G to win the Super Bowl. I want him to play well. The last two games I predicted, I was like, oh, Jimmy won't have no turnovers versus the Cowboys. Well, he ruined that for me. Then I said Jimmy's gonna have 2 touchdown passes versus the Packers. He ruined that for me. Even though there were some drops by Kittle and Jennings and Debo. So I'm not predicting anything anymore. But all I know is Jimmy is due. I mean, he has had 5 bad playoff games. He is due for one. I hope it's this week, or I hope he saved the best for last and do it in the Super Bowl. I support Jimmy G. Don't get it twisted. I'm just critical. And nobody, please, don't take my criticism for hate. I'm being honest. When you throw 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in your last 4 games, what do you expect me to do? When you have 5 playoff games and you've never played good in any one of them, what do you expect me to do? But at the end
He
of the
played
day,
well in the NFC Championship game. He just didn't have a lot of attempts, but he didn't
Croc,
play bad.
Croc,
He didn't play
Croc.
bad. So you
Yeah,
saying he
you know
played
what?
bad?
You're right, Croc. He was so elite handing off the ball. He looked like God himself handing off the ball. He was amazing. You know what? He threw 8 passes and almost threw a pick 6 that game. But anyways, I see you making me see. Look what you're doing. You making me go back to slandering him. But no, honestly, I support Jimmy G. I want him to do his thing this Sunday. I'm gonna be in the building. I hope Jimmy G throws for 300 yards, and then I hope he repeats that performance and come back in the Super Bowl and throws for another 300 yards. And you know what I will come out and do and say, you know what, Jimmy G, all is forgiven. You are a GOAT to me. You are a 49ers GOAT. You are a 49ers legend for bringing us that Lombardi. If he brings us a Lombardi, all is forgiven. I will tell everybody they can kick rock with them stats. They can go home. If he brings that Lombardi home, Jimmy G will forever have a place in my heart and with this franchise, and everybody's gonna have to respect him.
All right,
All right,
I hear
Croc.
you.
Shout out to all the callers that's about to come on.
Yeah, we got a good amount right now, so this is gonna be a good show. Real quick before we get to the callers, I see all y'all lined up right now. I want to read off some of these super chats. Shout out to everybody that's contributed to the show. That's the only scenario that matters. The goddamn Super Bowl. I can't even say Super Bowl anymore without the overthrow popping in my head. Oh, that brings up some tough memories. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Here we go. Jimmy's struggling because the right side sucks. Uh, I wouldn't say that. I think Jimmy is who he is. I think that's the best way to say it. I don't think it has anything to do with the right side line. No, yeah, taking some sacks or whatever. Yeah, less than ideal, right? But the 49ers offensive line has been really good all year. It's one of the top ranked offensive lines in the season in the NFL, and he's still fairly pedestrian. All right, here we go. My guy Jeep Crackhawk. Now we see why you got shades on. You high? I'm not high. I don't even smoke. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs at all. All right, but I'm just I knew I had to come on here. I had to get gangster a little bit, especially defending Jimmy G, because it's a tough road when you start defending him. And I'm not saying that he's just this great quarterback, but in the last 3 minutes, not many guys I'd take over him. He said, "Man, I feel good complaining about Jimmy G and we in the NFC Championship game." I know. So then my guy Abel, shout out to my guy Abel, my childhood friend. We grew up together, still homies, still brothers. He's saying and I get what Abel's saying here. It feels good that regardless of Jimmy, like we can complain and we can talk about it, and it is less than ideal. I'll give everybody that. Still in the NFC Championship game, still got a chance. You still got a chance. I think it is tough. The tough thing is the 49ers going to every game as the underdog. It doesn't matter, clearly. And I was listening to the Ham podcast. It wasn't Ham. It was the 3 and Out podcast with Middlecoff. And he was talking to his betting buddy about this. And the 49ers, with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, his record against, like, when the 49ers are the underdog and against the spread and all that, it's like hella good. It's hella good. He covers spreads, that's for sure, at a high rate, which goes back to what I was saying earlier. When you got Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, you don't get blown out. It's usually really tight. And a lot of times he has the chance to win at the end of the game. We need Wilson. We need Wilson to get more attention. Sometimes Mitchell looks hurt, and then they resort to Debo. Wilson's not going to get the touches that you are expecting or anyone else. Debo Samuel is a spellback. He's your just, I wouldn't even look at Debo as just like offensive weapon, just like Kyle Juszczyk. And whether it's him at receiver, Obviously, he lines up at receiver more than anything else. But if they need a carry from someone other than Mitchell, it's gonna be Debo. That's your spellback. All right, here we go. They gave the ball to Debo instead of QB sneak. What play is that? Are you talking about the very end? You got to come back and tell me. I know it's been a while. Come back and tell me what play that is you're talking about. And this one isn't a contribution, but I definitely want to touch on it. No, you don't. Y'all were calling for college job after Seattle. So, my guy, you got to be very specific when you say y'all were calling for college job. I know there were people, not Crocky. Now, what did Crocky say? I'll tell you what I said. I said Kyle Shanahan should fire Kyle Shanahan. And what I meant by that, and I have a whole video explaining all this, is the 49ers aren't getting rid of Kyle Shanahan. I wasn't saying fire him, but maybe he needs to delegate some responsibility to other people. Maybe he needs to let other people have certain jobs. Maybe he should step away from maybe being the main decision maker in certain situations and just coach. Just coach. Delegate responsibility to other guys. So you never heard me say we need to fire Kyle Shanahan. I do think you'll be naive. You'd be naive. That's not even the word I'm looking for. You'd have to be, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. But Kyle Shanahan had one winning season in 4 years. One winning season in 4 years. Context to it. But one winning season in 4 years. And started the season 2-4. How would his job not be in question? How would people be wrong to say maybe he's not the guy for the job? How one winning season in 4 years and you start the year 2-4 and then you're 3-5 and you get destroyed by goddamn Cardinals with Colt McCoy? How could you fault people for saying that maybe he's not as good as we think? I feel like he was always a good coach. That's why I'm like, he just needs to delegate some stuff. Maybe he just has too much on his plate. I don't know. I knew something was wrong, though. But the fact that people would I've seen people doing that. Oh, a lot of people were saying Kyle need to be fired. Fuck yeah. One winning season in 4 years and fucking a 2-4 start, 3-5 and getting destroyed by Colt McCoy. Somebody got to take accountability for it. What are we talking about? I have faith in this defense. I actually think it's better than 2012 and 2019. Defense wins championships. I won't say that they're better, but I will say this: definitely extremely well coached. I think they definitely respond extremely well to their defensive coordinator, DeMeco Ryans. I would say that this defense, I don't even want to use the word overachieving because they're playing great number 3 defense in the NFL. I don't think their highs are as dominant as 2019 or maybe even 2012. I don't think the highs are as dominant. Like 2019 defense, their highs, they were dominant. I mean, they were holding the quarterbacks to 50 yards passing, and you couldn't run on them. That was a historically great 49ers team defense. Now, this defense is really good. Really good. But it's for sure not 2019. But it is really good. And that's a conversation that we definitely can have. All right, here we go. I got a line of callers here, and I'm gonna get to every single one of y'all. All right, appreciate everybody that's coming on right now. I think, hold on, my bad, y'all. Got another contribution. Croc, in your own words, Kyle Shanahan is a front runner. Don't you think he would benefit from a QB that plays well for 58 minutes instead of just 2? I said front runner. I'm trying to remember calling him a front runner. Oh no, I did say front runner. I said Kyle Shanahan is a front runner in the sense of when he's aggressive with his play calling. Like we're going for it on like 4th downs. Like there's some coaches that come out and it's 4th and goal from the 2, and regardless of the situation, they're gonna go for it. They're gonna go for the touchdown. They don't need a lead. Kyle Shanahan, he's someone that feels more comfortable going for it in tight situations, or he feels more comfortable going for it when he feels like he 100% has the advantage, as opposed to it's an even playing field, and I'm gonna go for it because I have just this um, mindset of being aggressive. Does that make sense? So I called him a front runner in that sense. He likes things to be more ideal to make the aggressive move as opposed to some other coaches who they're aggressive no matter what. So I call him a front runner from that standpoint, in the sense of the aggressiveness, not so much. I just think he's a front runner coach. I hold my breath every time, every kickoff and punt return. Now that's something that I could see that 49ers special teams have been kind of shaky. All right, here we go. I appreciate all the contributions. Let's get to some of these callers. All right. We got Dan coming on. Dan, good morning. How you doing, bro?
Yo,
Dan, you there?
sorry about that, my man.
There we go. You got the setup too? Hold on. Boom. Let's
Yeah,
put you on the big
yo.
screen. Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
man. I used to do some podcasting back in the day, so I got the setup still. You
Yes,
know?
sir.
Yeah. All right. So one of the things I think that people don't talk about is like, what is Jimmy G being asked to do? And, what is he succeeding at when he's asked to do that? I think he does what he's asked to do and what the game plan's given to him. You know what I mean? And I think
Hold on. I got a question. I want to follow up real quick with that. All
What you
right.
got?
So when you say that, dive a little bit deeper in that. Elaborate a little bit more on what you mean by that.
Yeah, so we're talking about him coming in there and throwing the ball and having a lot of success in that late game. And a lot of times we're looking at people are like, man, he doesn't have those yards, those completions in that fourth quarter. But I think what we're looking at is a lot of times they're leading by 7-14 in the fourth quarter in some of these playoff games. Not so much going on recently, but in his 6 playoff games we're leading, so they're running the ball a lot. He's not asked to make those passes. He's not asked to make those bigger things. Obviously in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, it's the black eye we have to deal with. But if that black eye's not there, how differently do we see him? So I think that when you look at how this game is prepared and what he's asked to do and what he delivers on, I think he's pretty decent. I'm not going to say
why do you think that is why do you think that that's the game plan and is prepared that way? That's what I'm trying to get to.
I got you. I feel like if you look at the team they have and you look at your stars and your success and where the places where you do the best at, you want the ball in those hands. And you look at Debo and Kittle and Mitchell and you're like, man, you know what? Is passing the ball 40 times the answer to win a game here? And I don't think that is. I think the game plan is, if you want, you guys have been saying it all year on Locked On. I mean, you know exactly what the game plan is coming in. Like, we're going to run that ball. We're going to eat that clock. We're going to have success there. And when Jimmy is asked to throw the ball, we know that it can be there, and it has been there. Things that worry me and things if I want to be critical about it, man, those throws in the flats, those make your heart stop. I mean, those hurt. You have Jimmy, come on, man, what are you doing? That interception in that last game, Jimmy, I know you want to win this game and you want to put this on your back, but let's put it on the team's back. Let's put it on the plan's back. Let's put it on your running back's back. Let's put it on Debo's back. Yours too. You're out there throwing the ball, but be careful, homie. Man, just watch yourself. I think Jimmy's a good quarterback. I'm actually located in Pittsburgh. Man, people around here think they're getting Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, look, you guys are probably going to be getting the Jimmy G kind of guy, and I think you should be happy with that. But yeah, man, it's brutal.
I have a question for you again.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
Do you think that with the weapons the 49ers have, right? They lean on the run. You got Elijah Mitchell, good running back. You got Debo, you got Kittle, you got Ayuk, Juwan Jennings coming along. Do you think that if the 49ers had another quarterback, let's say Josh Allen,
yeah,
do you think that they would still lean on the run game to the extent that they do?
I mean, I think if you got Allen, you're going to be throwing the ball more. How much more? Okay. We saw that. I think, let me dial this back a little bit. I think Josh Allen is the best running quarterback in the NFL, period. You watch him run. We mean
more because there is Lamar Jackson. So
yeah, okay. All right. But no, you know what? I'm staying with this one. Josh Allen is the best running quarterback in the NFL. All right. Because Lamar, is he in the playoffs? Did he run his team to a playoff run? I don't know that he did. Obviously, Bills are out too. That's debate. We can talk about that on another day. But I think he's one of the best running backs. You're still running the ball. Are you passing that ball as much as the Bills do? Probably not still. I think you got a game plan. I think you got a quarterback who can do both. You do both. You got a team that's built to do these things. You do those things. It's not just that your quarterback can throw the ball. It's that, are your receivers going to hold up to that? Or do you have a great run game? Can you burn clock? I mean, what's the game plan? I think if Josh Allen's here in the 49ers, I think the game plan is still more run, less pass.
Gotcha. All right, man. Dan, I appreciate you coming on. You got to come on more often, man. This is my
Man,
first
I'm
time
here.
seeing you
Let's
on
go.
here.
I'll be on. I work from home, man. I'll be here. You post it, I'll be it.
All right,
got you,
all
man.
good, man. Appreciate you coming
Have a
on,
good one.
fam.
Yo.
All right, that was a good caller right there. That was a good caller right now. Here we go. We got more callers coming in. All right. Y'all gonna like this one. We got Dion coming on. Dion, what's good, baby?
Oh shit! You know what's going on, Crocky? What's going on, baby? Hey, see, look, man. You know,
What's up, man?
look. We from California, baby. So I already know what the lokes and the beanie mean. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
I felt that already. Everybody was like, man,
By
Crock got
Thursday,
a
I might be
hangover.
coming in here with a ski mask on. I don't know. You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
nah, that's
I
a
keep
whole
the,
nother time.
we
gotta keep
we keep that
PC.
yapper right here. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. We're ready for all situations.
We go, yeah, man. Hey, so I understand your position on Jimmy and what you were saying, but
What am I saying? Hold on. First, you gotta elaborate on that.
you're saying that you feel that Jimmy is, that he's a good quarterback in the clutch, if I'm not mistaken. And you're also saying that you feel that Jimmy is, a little bit better, I guess, than we give him credit for. This is what I will tell you, and I'm gonna tell you strictly for the playoffs. Jimmy Garoppolo has played in 6 playoff games. The man is 64 of 102 with a 62.7 completion percentage, 7.2 yards per throw, 121 yards per game, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 8 sacks. That does not sound like a clutch winning playoff quarterback. I'm so sorry. Just those
But it
sheer
doesn't.
numbers.
They got 4 wins. He got 4. You know what I'm saying?
He's
He
along
got
for
4
the
playoff wins.
Croc. I'm gonna have to go with Roscoe's on this. He's along for the ride. Let me give you the running stats. Hold on. Let me give you the running stats.
Hold on. I agree with that, right? I agree that he has been along for the ride, and especially in the playoffs. But you're now you're shrinking the sample size even more. I'm talking about in the entirety of his time with the 49ers.
Jimmy still,
when it comes down to the last few minutes, he's clutch.
To,
and I don't think that stops in the regular season. I think it continues. Obviously, you have the game, the outlier, Kansas City game, Super Bowl, tough, biggest stage. But what I'm saying is, more times than not, when it comes down to it, Jimmy Garoppolo, he comes through in the clutch for us. I ain't saying he's like that for 60 minutes. He does a lot of weird stuff.
You give Jimmy a 2-minute situation, and he doesn't have to think a lot. He just has to go. He seems to be better. But at the end of the day, it's like someone else said, would you rather have a guy that's better for, 58 minutes or 2? I don't want it. Like, we all hold our breath when he throws the ball because we know an interception is coming. This postseason alone, the man's only thrown 2 picks. He's thrown no touchdowns. Every touchdown has been by special teams or by the run. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I know this clutch gene, the only thing you could, I've said this before and I'll say it again. What you could sell to another team while you're trying to sell Jimmy G, because at the end of the day, baby, it's a pimping whole world, and you got to learn how to be a pimp or you're going to wind up being a hoe. And at the end of the day, Jimmy G right now is the hoe, and we trying to give him to another pimp, a.k.a. another team. So I'm going to break it down for you in pimp terms, baby. I'm going to say it just like this. Look, man, I got this, I got this broad right here, baby. At the end of the day, she win. You know what I'm saying? She'd take you, she take you out back and take you in the place you ain't never been. She going to blast you off in the stratosphere. You dig what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Every now and then she might fumble up a little bit, but it's okay. You got to backhand her a little bit, bring her down, and, she'll calm down and get right back in the bag. But I'm telling you right now, look, in that 2-minute session, she's a beast. Ain't no one better. So at the end of the day, when you look at a winning record, baby, look, man, it's lopsided, all right? She got more ups than she do downs. So what I need you to do is understand that this broad right here is a winner. So you're going to take this winner and get your bread. Well, you know what I'm saying? You go ahead and give me back what I need so I can go ahead and get my win on. At the end of the day, baby, you know what I'm saying? It's just a pimp conversation. I ain't trying to get knocked. I'm trying to allow you to knock me purposely so I can get this hoe off my hand. See what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when you're selling Jimmy Garoppolo to a team, it's strictly only thing you can sell is he's clutching 2 minutes. Look at his record. Look at his jawline. He's pretty. Like, you can't sell nothing else to him, because when people look at the game as a whole, they're going to look and go, I don't know about it. He gets injured a lot. He's only literally played maybe 2.5 seasons fully as a starting quarterback. And when it comes to the playoffs, he disappears. We get the run game does everything. So that's my biggest issue with this whole 2-minute warning thing. It's a clutch thing, but I get it to an extent. But then at the same time, the man has thrown no TDs. Our touchdowns have been running the ball or special teams. That is horridly pathetic. A 2-to-5 touchdown to interception ratio is garbage. Any other quarterback would be looked at as trash. But for some reason, people get his due to pass. So at the end of the day, for me, I'm always going to stick to the fact that he's okay. Is he a starting caliber quarterback? Yes. But is he a true dyed-in-the-wool winner? No. He comes along for the ride, enjoys it, and then has and enjoys every second of it, because he, F Dallas, this our house, F the Packers, F Rodgers, all this other stuff. What did you do, sir? Explain to me what you did to be able to have these big balls and talk the way that you talk. And
he's a part of the team. He's a part of the team.
Okay, so you know what? I'm the towel boy. I'm talking shit too. I'm part of the team. I wipe the sweat off your brow.
We talking shit. So, you see me on social media.
I feel you. But for me, I'm just gonna stick to the fact that Jimmy ain't worth much of nothing, man. That dude, he along for the ride, and he riding the coattails of the defense and the run game, and that's exactly what has been happening since he's been here. Those last 5 games in 2017, his touchdown interception ratio was last side 10. So it's like you see it and it's cool. That's what I'm telling you. You can sell that to a team. The man just, when he's around, you win. I don't know why, I don't know how, but you seem to pull it off. And in a 2-minute drill, the guy's money. You can bet on that. But all the rest of the game, I don't know what you're gonna do.
That's all I'm saying.
But I can't use that to go on. Like, if I'm a team, I need to know that all around you can be great. Are you great in the 2-minute drill? Yes,
no, but that's unrealistic, though. That's unrealistic for majority of NFL quarterbacks. Now, there is, and Kyle Shanahan told us, right? Kyle Shanahan told us he wants more. He looked into Stafford. He looked into Watson. He traded all those picks for Trey Lance. He wants more. So that's clear. But the fact of the matter is, Jimmy Garoppolo still wins, or at least puts you in position to win, or will not screw up games to where they result in wins, more so than a lot of other quarterbacks in the NFL.
I mean, you just said it pretty much, that the man, is exactly what Grant Cohn is saying. He starts fires and then has to put them out. Don't start the fuck fire in the first place, and we wouldn't have to.
Would you rather have a quarterback? Would you rather have a quarterback that starts the fire and puts it out, or a quarterback that starts the fire and still can't put it out? Like, say, like a Jameis Winston.
I wouldn't want nothing to do with Jameis Winston, to be honest with you.
So
my quarterback that I would want for this team, to be honest with you, would have been Patrick Mahomes, but we passed on him because we have a head coach who was in love with Kirk Cousins.
Okay, yeah. That's so good.
We can do about
I gotta get to more callers. But we're gonna continue this conversation tomorrow. All
right, man.
All right. Love you, man. All right, that's my guy, Big Dion. Hey, it's tough out here on the streets defending Jimmy Garoppolo. I got callers lined up. I know they want to come at my head. All right, but here we go. I know I'm finna hear it again. Here we go. I got my guy Jesse coming on. Jesse, good morning, fam.
Hey, what's going on, Croc? Hey, here's the deal, man. It's tough on both sides. Like, there's no winning with this fan base. If you praise Jimmy, then you automatically hate Lance. And if you praise Lance, then you hate Jimmy. Like, there's no winning. So I appreciate you taking a stand. I think you're completely wrong on the stand, but I appreciate you taking it.
What's my stand?
Well, that Jimmy's good in the final 2 minutes, and that's all we really need. Like, here's the thing, okay? Let me be clear about this.
Hold on,
Jimmy
no.
Garoppolo.
That's not what I'm
Okay,
saying.
go ahead.
I'm saying
Okay, go
Jimmy
ahead.
is great in the last 2 minutes. I think
Even
he's
worse.
a solid quarterback. The rest of the game, like, okay, he's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in that, 15 to 20 quarterbacking for the first 57 minutes. But in the last 3 minutes, he's elite. And that's what really helps the 49ers win as many games as they do with him. And again, I'm not saying that they couldn't win more games with someone else or that they couldn't be more dangerous with somebody else. I mean, that's why you get Trey Lance, right? But for what this team is right now with him at the quarterback, I think he complements it well, and he needs that. I think he kind of needs that backing, and he's going to win games, and I think that's clear. Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong. Here's what I want to say is that, all right, so Jimmy, I agree with you. I have him, depending on the year, anywhere from 17 to 22. I personally have him at 17. But again, most quarterbacks in the league are not going to outright be difference makers. Like, that's not what the league is. It's never been that. So it's not knocking Jimmy to say that he's basically a net zero quarterback or the 17th ranked quarterback. He's better than a lot of guys. But a lot of people get wrapped up in, well, Jimmy wins. Okay, so let me put that to rest for a second. Because what happens is, if this 49er team has a starting caliber quarterback, they win games. That's all that says. And if you want to go a step further, Jimmy, even though he wins, is still a liability. And the reason he's a liability, or the weak link of the team, is because he's the only unit on the team that is average or below average. You look at the running game, you look at the offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, secondary, pass catchers, all of them are above average to elite. Jimmy is the only player on this team that does not fit that criteria. So it is not knocking Jimmy again, saying that he's a liability. Like, people need to get this stuff out of their mind. They need to look at it for what it is. I get we're fans, but it doesn't mean you can't be honest about a situation. You can't tell me this guy's not a fan because he doesn't believe in Jimmy every second of the day and he doesn't back everything. Like, that's BS. People need to stop with that. But here's the deal. You want to talk about the final 2 minutes. First of all, you're
Is he
making it
clutch?
sound.
Is Jimmy clutch?
Hold on a second. I'm going to get to
Okay.
it. I promise you. All right. You're making it sound like this man's Robert Ory. Robert Ory, you want to talk clutch. Robert Ory was clutch. Was he the best player? No, absolutely not. Was he a guy you wanted on your team you could win with? Sure. Were you confident when he took that final shot? Sure. Yeah, absolutely you were. Jimmy Garoppolo is not Robert Ory. You're talking about regular season stats and then trying to make it sound like he's clutch. Your bread is not buttered in the regular season. It is buttered in the postseason. And this man does not go out and win games in the final 2 minutes of the postseason. He just doesn't do it. Not without major help. He's done it one time against the Packers. And they passed 2 times, Croc. They were not even in field goal range and they ran the ball on 3rd and 7. I know the clock management thing, but Croc, they weren't in field goal range. They needed those 9 yards. They needed every bit of those 9 yards to make it a field goal range kick. It would have been, over 50 in terrible weather. They were not making that kick if they don't get those yards. So they needed those yards. The other thing about Jimmy, you talk about final 2 minutes. This man against the Packers, everybody wants to bring that up. Well, the defense let him down. Defense didn't let him down. Jimmy let him down. Because Jimmy gave up 3 more points than what they should have given up. He's lucky that the defense didn't fold after his backward pass and give up a touchdown, because it would have been a wrap right there. Jimmy needs a second chance at game winners. He got a second chance there. He was able to deliver. Then against the Bengals, he throws the interception to Bates, gets a second chance and is able to deliver. It's not like he's going down first time, boom, nails, ice water. No, he gets a second chance and then he delivers. Dallas Cowboys, they needed him to be quote unquote clutch and sneak the ball, snaps the ball too early, gives him the ball. Like, that's not clutch, Croc. This guy's not clutch. We don't have to go out and talk about Jimmy and make things up. Like, this man is not a clutch quarterback. He's cool. They can win with him because he's starting level and this team is so damn good. But come on, Croc. Clutch?
I think he has shown more times than not to come up big in those type of scenarios.
Okay. So after watching what Josh Allen did this last week, let's take the whole game out of the way, because you agree. We already know Josh Allen's way. That's not even a conversation. But Final 2 minutes. You watch what Jimmy G did during that Packer game in the final 2 minutes, and then you watch what Josh Allen did in the final 2 minutes. You're telling me you really want him over Josh Allen in the final two? Just the final 2 minutes.
Listen, if we're saying I get one quarterback, I get the total package, right? Josh Allen, I haven't seen him in enough of those situations. That was special, right? If you're telling me every single time or 9 to 8 times out of 10 it's going to look like that in the last 2 minutes, then yeah, I take that over Jimmy. But I've seen Jimmy in those situations come through in the clutch more than I have Josh Allen. So is it a one-off with Josh Allen doing that? Special, right? I looked at that. Matter of fact, here was my take. I almost tweeted this out. And at one point in the fourth quarter, the score was 21-23, right? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, for as special as these quarterbacks are, and they are special, and they did some special things in that game. I'm like, man, they just, 23-21. Like, that's not anything too crazy. And I'm thinking, well, and I started coming back to teams just win different, right? You got Jimmy Garoppolo and you're able to win. And, regardless, 49ers can put up 23 points or whatever. And then the last 5 minutes happened. And I was like, okay, these dudes are in a different stratosphere, right? Like that's a huge difference. And I hope that Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't have to get in a situation to where he has to deliver the way those quarterbacks do. I don't think he's that. But I'm just saying in general, I've seen more from Jimmy Garoppolo in those moments than most other quarterbacks in the sense of the percentage of him converting and coming through in the clutch. And the numbers kind of back what I said, which I've been saying this for a while. This is not the first time I've said it. Like, I've been saying it for a while. And then I get the numbers yesterday, and the numbers back what I'm saying. He has the second highest percentage in those situations. The only person over him is Tom Brady.
And I understand that, but again, we're talking regular season numbers. We're not. Again, your bread is buttered.
But he just did it in the postseason too.
But he didn't, though, Croc. Like, he didn't. Like, they scored 0 touchdowns. It's not like they had to go and score. Croc, 3rd and 9, they're not in field, or 3rd and 7, they're not in field goal range. They chose to run the ball and were able to get enough yards to make that work. What did he hit? What was the final drive? He hit a wide open slant and a Texas route. Wide open Texas route. Was that the 2 passes he completed?
Right, he did. Right now, let's flip it to the other side. Right, the guy that had the
he's
drive
a starting level quarterback. Like, we're lowering the bar so much that we're okay with him completing wide open passes.
No,
2 of them and saying that's good enough.
Like, you're making it seem like I'm like, oh, it's good enough, and I'm one of the people that be like, oh, he should be on the team next year. I don't think there's anything he can do to be on the team next year. He's gone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not arguing that point. I'm arguing, we talk about it, right? Hitting the guy wide open. Look at the drive before that when you have the Green Bay Packers and you have the dig route butt naked and he forces the ball downfield that's incomplete. If Aaron Rodgers hits the dig, which was the same route, they ran that same concept in the game-winning drive when they beat the 49ers early in the season, dig wide open. There's nobody within 20 yards of Lazard over the middle. So I do think we can't discredit Jimmy Garoppolo for making the right decision and the right throw. You know what I'm saying? I get it. He's wide open. I get it. But he saw it. He hit it twice, put them in position to kick a field goal and win the game, as opposed to Aaron Rodgers, who froze up in the moment, forced the ball downfield in triple coverage, incomplete. They lose the game because of that. If he hits the wide open guy like Jimmy was able to do, they probably win. I think there's something to that.
Okay, so then I'll end it with this because I know you got a million people. So let's if again, I'm saying your bread is buttered in the playoffs. So if that's the case, he's had 3 clutch situations in the playoffs. 3. 1 was the Packers. I'll give it to him. Let's just agree that he was clutch in that moment. Dallas Cowboys, absolutely not clutch in that moment. He couldn't have done a worse job. Super Bowl, not clutch in that moment. So really, he's 1 for 3 in clutch situations when it matters most. That's not clutch. So,
but and I've never just limited it to just postseason. So I've looked at it throughout his entire career,
and that's fair.
I get what you're saying.
I just don't look at regular season. I just don't think regular season is to me. That's not clutch. Like, that's I get it's final 2 minutes. Every game matters. I get all that, but nobody talks about Joe Montana and be like, well, his regular season he did this. No, they talk about the postseason. No interceptions in the Super Bowl. He gets better. If you look at his stats, they got better once he got into the postseason. Then they got better again when he got to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady down 28-3. Everything you talk about is postseason. Now, everybody will then, an afterthought, talk about a John Elway. Well, he had the most game-winning drives, and I get that, but he was also clutch when it mattered most. You have to be clutch in the postseason before any of that other stuff starts to matter. That's my opinion. So
I know, but I can't. We can't. Like, okay, how can I explain this? I obviously we want to see him in more situations to become clutch in the postseason, right? You talked about Joe Montana, and he, four Super Bowls, 4 Super Bowl wins, right? Like that's a large sample size. For me, with Jimmy Garoppolo, it's a little more difficult to only factor in 3 games or 3 situations. Be like, well, he's 1 and 2 in those situations as far as being clutch. And when I'm saying that he's typically clutch, just him in general at quarterback. Now, we're going to see more situations that's going to play out and see how his postseason legacy continues. But for me, I just view just Jimmy Garoppolo, like just Jimmy G. Is Jimmy G clutch in the last 3 minutes? Like just in general. And I would say yes. Now, is he clutch in the last 3 minutes in the postseason? That's going to be, that is yet to be determined.
yeah, so I would say, is he clutch? I would give him an incomplete because it is yet to be determined. So that's just me personally.
Okay.
But listen, I appreciate the stance. I love it. I also want to be clear about this. You and I have had these talks. I appreciate that you're willing to stand on whatever it is you believe, right, wrong, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. You've got the stats to back it up. You believe what you're saying, and that's all that matters. Everybody, make sure you subscribe to this man. He puts on a show every single morning for us, gives us all, time to call in, whatever. Give this guy some love.
I appreciate that, fam.
All right, Croc, we'll talk.
All right. Thanks for coming on. When you gonna have me on your show?
Hey, we need to do it. Seriously, I'll hit you in the DM. We'll get it together soon.
All right, for sure.
All right, Croc.
All right, that's my guy Jesse. Here we go. I got my guy 49er pimping. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna remove you 1 second. Let me answer these super chats real quick. Hold on 1 second. All right, hold on. Let me get to these super chats real quick. All right, I see Coach in here. He said wins is not a QB stat, it's a team stat. I agree in the sense that it takes everybody, even Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Being clutch. Like there's a lot that goes into that moment, just being in that position because, the way 49ers blocked a punt, 49ers blocked a field goal. The 49ers defense got to stop. That allowed Jimmy Garoppolo the opportunity to drive down and score at the end of the game. So, I'm aware that, wins and stuff like that is not necessarily a QB stat. It is a team stat, but I do think that there are some quarterbacks that contribute more to wins. That's not to say, and that's not taking away anything else from the rest of the team, but some quarterbacks sometimes in situations have to go above and beyond, to win. But I mean, we can say it's not a QB stat, but at the end of the day, if you look up quarterback stats, there's a win-loss record next to their name. So you got to factor it in to some extent. I guess just kind of understand the context of it. Got my guy Robert here. Robert says Jimmy came in 2017, injured 2018. Debo comes in 2019. Those wins everyone is talking about is because of Debo. Debo is clutch. Debo getting paid too. Debo helps a lot, right? You look at 2020, he was hurt. 49ers didn't win a lot of games. I think he played in 6 games. They won 6 games. Now, I'm not saying they won every game that he played in. Obviously, that's not right. But Debo might have a big hand in some of the wins the 49ers have had. You look at the Week 18 game against the Rams and kind of what he was able to do. He ran for a touchdown, threw for a touchdown, had a huge catch in overtime. I think Debo moves the needle. That's for sure. Got Coach back in here. Appreciate the contribution, Coach. Stats are dead numbers. Context matters most. Context does, and I think I see our guy Marquez Valentine. He's agreeing with Coach here. He says, yes. Listen to the man. There's a lot of context, I think, that goes into all these different scenarios and situations that result in wins, losses, and things like that. But the quarterback, they're always going to have kind of the biggest hand in how games turn out. I would say this. If Jimmy Garoppolo, this is how big they are. When he throws 1 or 2 interceptions, 49ers, it's real iffy. When Jimmy does not turn the ball over at all, they win. Now, I'm not saying it's that simple. Obviously, the 49ers have a terrific team around him, and the team contributes to that. But there is something to the fact that when Jimmy does not turn the rock over, they win. So Jimmy has a huge hand in the outcome of games, a huge hand in it. The team is clutch around Jimmy. It's not Jimmy. I hear you. But I do think the team being clutch when they need to be clutch, and then Jimmy following that up in the last 3 minutes. I'm talking about last 3 minutes with his clutchness. I think there's something to that. I think our fans are terrible. The guy comes up clutch when you need him. What about the end of the Rams game to get us into the postseason? Now, there's context with this as well, right? Because we look at that game, and Jesse missed the opportunity to touch on this, and I wasn't going to touch on it because, I'm saying, it was his argument. But in the Rams game, when we talk about needing clutch and the Rams game and all that, he had a drive, did not score, or did not even move the ball. 49ers had to punt the ball with less than a minute left. That's not ideal. Luckily, they had all 3 timeouts. And then you talk about being clutch. The defense got the 3-and-out stop, right? Defense got 3-and-out stop. And then that gave Jimmy a second opportunity, which our guy Jesse was talking about. So, yeah, a lot of it kind of goes hand in hand. Got another contribution from Coach. Where's it at? Here we go. Jimmy G is the rich kid who drives a luxury car and constantly gets tickets and totals them only to get another Benz, and he thinks he's a good driver. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I think Jimmy knows. I say this. The most important person knows who Jimmy Garoppolo is, and that's Kyle Shanahan. And again, I've touched on it a few times already. Kyle has told us exactly who Jimmy is and who he isn't. He's told us. He's told us what he's looking for from his quarterback by who he's drafted, by who he tried to get, by who looking into Watson, by looking into Stafford. He knows. He also knows, like, you know what? Let me limit his attempts. Let me limit his throws. Let me make sure that Jimmy doesn't put us out of position. So maybe the rich kid, the coaches, the parents, they can't give him the luxury vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Don't give him the luxury vehicle. Get him the vehicle he can kind of, beat up a little bit. And that's the 49ers run game. And they're going to continue that. We got Trice coming in. If Jimmy is clutch, what about the Titans game when he could have secured a spot in the playoffs? So I've talked about Jimmy being clutch in the last few minutes. There were things that went on early in that game that directly contributed to the 49ers making it tougher and losing. But I will say, in the last few minutes, when the 49ers get the ball and you got to score to give yourself a chance to win, Jimmy and Debo drove down the field and scored a touchdown to tie the game up. I think that was clutch. Victor, appreciate you for the contribution here. Jimmy's inconsistencies of throwing outside the hash, deep balls, and pocket presence are major factors on why we are moving on from him. Yeah, I when you watch the game, and I think everybody that watches the 49ers is clear, right? If you want to know, like, the real with Jimmy Garoppolo, like, listen to some other fan bases and how they view Jimmy and how they kind of see him and things like that. He definitely makes things harder. And Chris Sims alluded to this on a pod a couple of weeks ago, saying it's frightening playing with Jimmy Garoppolo because he restricts you to throwing a high percentage of your passes to a certain area of the field, as opposed to being able to use the full scope of things and making it maybe easier on your offensive coordinator. So, yeah, I think there is something to that. His pocket presence, I'm not going to say it's terrible, but I think his limited mobility kind of makes things sometimes a little tougher than it has to be. there are certain areas, and I appreciate the contribution again. There are certain areas where, even in the game against the Packers, where he took some sacks, guys got pushed over in his face. I'm seeing Compton missing blocks, and you could see certain scenarios where it's like, man, a little bit more mobility. Maybe he get out of that situation. Maybe he doesn't stand there in the pocket. Maybe he, moves out and finds a guy downfield wide open, like we saw from Aaron Rodgers. But we do know a majority of the time that's not going to be Jimmy Garoppolo's game. It's not going to be his game. Hoping that Trent Williams is good enough to play. Don't think we can hold off Miller and Donald this time. Yeah, man. I watched Von Miller in the last game. It looked like somebody injected 2015 into his veins, man. He was flying off that edge. You're gonna need Trent Williams in this game. That's for sure. We can't have two Tom Comptons out there, right? Like, Compton is kind of a liability, and he has stretches where he's decent, but it's not the most ideal having not one of him, but two of those caliber of tackles out there with Leonard Floyd and Von Miller coming off the edge, and that's not to mention Aaron Donald, who moves around and plays all over. Jimmy has the X factor. He elevates the players around him. The part of being clutch. Look at Dak, way better athlete, but comes up short. I don't know if he elevates the players around him. I think Kyle does a good job of elevating Jimmy and putting him in position to put other guys in a position to win. Deebo Samuel on slants, running for 80 yards, stuff like that. So Jimmy G is Tim Tebow. Hell no. Jimmy G had a stretch of being the most efficient passer in the NFL for like 8 weeks or something like that. So now I'm not saying like I'm not saying he's great. I'm just saying that like you'll never see Tim Tebow in any type of stat like that. Tebow was okay at the end. I get that. Jimmy's questionable, right? Within the first 55 minutes. He does weird stuff, but he better than Tim Tebow. Come on now. Don't be disrespectful, Chris. That was kind of disrespectful. I'm not going to lie. Jimmy is a great leader of men. Guys want to make plays when it matters most. Kittle in New Orleans. Debo, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Debo in Green Bay. Jennings in LA, etc. I think Jimmy Garoppolo as a leader, that's probably his biggest strength. I think, him allowing guys to believe in him and, allowing guys to believe in him and look into his eyes and understand that at the end of the game when they need him, they look to him for that, like, confidence. And I think that's one of his bigger traits that he has. Nah, Croc, you sound like Skip. All he does is win. Chris, we're going to have a talk off camera. Don't call me Skip because I'm kind of defending Jimmy G. Tebow was like bad all game. Jimmy's not bad all game. Most of the time, Jimmy's not bad all game. Right? Can we agree on that? Jimmy has weird moments. And I think he makes games tighter than they have to be. But Tebow, I'd say maybe if you look at what Jimmy has kind of been in the playoffs so far, like not ideal. You could say Tim Tebow could do that. But for a majority of, come on, come on, man. Come on. Let's get to these callers. Another contribution here. Fine. Jimmy G is Rex Grossman. Jimmy is Trent Dilfer. That's kind of what he is. He's Trent Dilfer on a really good team. Jimmy Dilfer. I got my guy Kenny Goldman coming. Oh, wait, nope. I said I was going to get to 49ers Pimpin' first. My bad. 49ers Pimpin', what's good, man? Oh, he checked out. All right, here we go. Kenny Goldsmith. What's good, man? How you doing?
What's going on, Croc, man? Man, listen to everybody, man. Everybody gave some great takes. Now, my position on Jimmy, I could give you the he's good within the last 3 minutes of a game. Because the defense consistently put him in that position, to make a game-winning drive. Now, I want to ask you this: how many fourth quarter comebacks do he have?
In his career,
Yeah,
it says 11.
11. I feel like they make anything of because I've rarely seen Jimmy Garoppolo down 10 plus points going into the fourth quarter.
Oh, I don't think they. I think it's just if you're just losing at any time. So it's either losing or drives to win the game.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. They deem anything, almost anything, a fourth quarter comeback. But that's how I look at a fourth quarter comeback. Being down 10 plus points in a fourth quarter, where he has to throw and make those throws. Now, with that being said, in order for us to go even deeper into this playoffs to make the Super Bowl, I think Jimmy gonna have to make some throws that he don't usually make. You understand what I'm saying?
But he does, right? Look, bring up the
No, he
Rams
don't.
game.
He don't.
In the Rams game, when you needed that throw, and it was downfield, a throw that he typically is, he's not really that guy, right? What does he do? Step up, get flushed out the pocket, throw the ball downfield to Deebo Samuel in between two defenders.
Yeah, but but he haven't done it in the playoffs.
Okay. Okay.
No, because
Okay.
he's gonna have to play better than what he's played in Dallas and Green Bay. Am I right?
Okay. And okay. I think ideally, you would say Jimmy has to play better than he played in those games to beat the Rams. Ideally, you would say that, but I would have said the same thing going into the Packers game. I would have said the same thing going into the Cowboys game. So I don't know. I think he's on a really good team, and you can kind of get the bare minimum from your quarterback right now and still win the game.
Nah, not in the. I don't think so in the playoffs. That's. I don't think so in the playoffs because
We
I think
just saw it 2 games in a row. That wasn't great quarterbacking from Jimmy.
I see 2 games in a row, crap. I mean,
We just saw it 2 games in a row.
I understand.
Subpar play. I'm saying subpar play from the quarterback position. We just saw it 2 games in a row. Like just very regular, right? Like quarterbacking that you can get from a lot of other guys. And they still won. So I think that Jimmy can be better than that. How much better? I'm not sure. But I do know since seeing those 2 games, I think in our heads it's, hey, you can't go out there and have that type of game and beat the Rams. But 49ers have shown the ability to do that if you look at the past 2 games. And now there's more of a team total effort.
But this is how we've been able to beat the Rams. We've been very physical with the Rams. The Rams they really don't want to tackle. The Rams is a finesse team. They don't want to tackle nobody. They want to get out to the quarterback. And passing the ball a lot is not what we do.
I hear you, kid. I gotta get to the next caller. I appreciate you, caller. I gotta get to the next guy.
All right, no problem.
Appreciate you, B-Dog. All right. All right, 49ers Pimpin'. I finally got you on. What's good, man? Good morning.
Man, what's happening, Croc? How you doing, my brother?
Oh man, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like a movie character, like or what's that show? Game of Thrones, when everybody was running at Jon Snow and Jon Snow standing there with the knife, with the sword in his hand, and they're just all running at Jon Snow. That's what I feel like right now, like taking on like the Jimmy thing. And for someone like me who I'm not even really high on Jimmy, I'm just saying he's clutching it in those moments. But what you got for me?
Let me ask you this, Croc. How many games has Jimmy lost us this season? I can think of maybe. I'm gonna blame him for the Titans.
Titans game for sure.
I might blame him for the Seahawks because remember
Seattle game for sure.
Other
he
than
had a chance, but he put them in a bad situation. But he had a chance to win. But
Other than that, how many games did he lose us this season?
Well, that's the thing. He's not gonna lose you much, right? I think most people should be able to agree on the fact that with Jimmy Garoppolo, more times than not, you're gonna be in position to win games. And when it comes down to it at the end, he ends up coming through more times than not. Only person that has a higher percentage of coming through in those moments is Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, right? I'm gonna say this, man. You know, I respect everybody's take. I love my faithful family, but you know, I'm excited to see what Trey Lance can do.
Uh-oh. 49ers pimping. We lost you. Hold on. I'm gonna put you backstage. I'm gonna see if you unfreeze. You just froze up for a second. I see people saying the Colts game. The Colts game is a game that is he back? Let's see. Is he back? You're back. My bad.
Okay,
yeah, you're here now.
okay.
Yeah, froze up for a second.
So you got people
some
saying
people
the
have
Colts
thrown out the
game.
Colts game, and I would say
Okay.
that Colts game was
Okay.
I actually put that game on the secondary more than anything else. The secondary gave up awful pass interferences in that game. And I'm somebody I've defended the secondary a ton. That was the one game where I'm like, damn, I think they might have really lost the game for the 49ers. So, but that is a game, I guess, you want to put that on Jimmy. You can put that on Jimmy.
There we go. Okay, cool. So 3 games. We lost 7, Croc. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Jimmy not being clutch is a lie, man. That's a lie. Like some of the throws he made in that Packers game, you got that defender coming at him in his face in that 0-degree weather, and that throw he makes to Juwan Jennings who drops it. You know what I'm saying? Where it wasn't wide open like the Kittle one was, because I know that last caller said, he only makes wide open throws, which is now we discredit him for making open reads. Okay, cool. But every time you bring up how Jimmy was clutch, like I said, he didn't lose a set.
Uh-oh. I think we might have lost you again. All right. I think we lost 49ers pimping again. But he's siding with me. So I like that. I like that. I'm going to get to the next caller here. I got my guy Darius. He's been on hold for a long time. Good morning, Darius.
Man, top of the morning, man. How you feeling, bro? Croc?
Oh, man, I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
I
feel like after fighting off all these I'm feeling good. I feel like I got
right. That's what I'm saying. I need a pair of them lokes myself, bro, because I'm gonna have to defend Jimmy with you, man, and we're gonna have to form like the Avengers, bro, because the faithful then got so spoiled with these quarterbacks, with the Joe Montana, Steve Youngs. I'm gonna even say Jeff Garcia. He was decent. And so now we have the infamous Jimmy G. And how are we not giving him his credit? I'm saying, like, he might not make the game-winning score, but he'll give you the game-winning drive. He'll get you down near to the red zone. After that, I mean, it's Jimmy. He ain't Tom. He just played behind Tom.
Right.
A little something. And he has the tightest window probably in the NFL. Like he'll put it on you if you let him. I can't just knock him like that, man. Like, come on, man. Like, Jimmy is clutch. He is. I'm sorry, guys. Like, he might not have did it a lot in the playoffs, but he hasn't had a whole lot of, chances to do that. I'm trying to think. There was that one throw. He threw like 2 dimes in the Green Bay game, back to back. It was to Debo and I think to Kittle, and then we was out that drive. And I'm just looking like, damn, man. Like, Jimmy, when he does do well, the people around him, they don't perform, and then it makes him look even worse when they are open or they are doing something, and then he fucks up, and it's like, damn, man, like that was just bad timing. That was bad timing. But I tip my hat off to Shanahan of all people, bro. Like, for him to stick to his guns since the preseason, I'm talking about when they first said, man, Jimmy, give us the best chance to win. And he ain't deterred from that, even though he should have. We was calling for his head. We was 5-3. 3-5. Excuse me, 3-5. It was called head. We lost to Seattle. Called for his head, and for all the that took, he's still kind of being modest and humble about it. Like he's not rubbing it in nobody's face. It's just like, man, whatever. I knew what I planned on doing before this even happened. Like, I knew I was going to be here. I told y'all the Super Bowl roster. I told y'all blah, 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 blah. And, look what happened. Like, I tip my hat off to Kyle, man. He has cold ice water veins, bro. Like, to stick with this man, especially I think it was the Dallas game. I was asking to bench this man. Like a lot of us, I feel like Trey can do whatever Jimmy does, honestly. Let me just say that first. I feel like whatever Jimmy's doing, Trey could probably do it better with a little bit of coaching. Um, but I'm not gonna knock him though, man. Like he is clutch, like you said. Yo, last drive of the game, like for some reason he kicks in, like he finds the zen in himself and he calms down and he really focuses and he gets down that field. I don't know how he does it. There's a little bit of luck, like it was with Cincinnati. They should have picked the ball and they didn't. Some of that stuff is like I said, it's good timing, man. God is on the side. But then other times it's like you just gotta give him his credit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just knock Jimmy like that, man. Especially if he wins the Super Bowl, because they're doing it untraditionally. Like this is not how you do it. Like this ain't how you get to the ball the way we playing, but we're getting there, and I'm happy, man. By any
Well,
means
why do
necessary.
you
That's the
think that's
Niners
not?
motto.
Why do you think this is not how you
I'm gonna
get to the
say
ball?
I'm only saying that because it's like we're getting away with bad quarterback play sometimes. Like those picks that come at unopportune moments, things like that. Like we're getting away with a lot of shit that we're not supposed to be getting away with. That's what I mean. But yeah, you can get there any way you want. Like there's no rule book to how to get to the bowl. No. But I'm just saying, like, statistically, when you look at Aaron Rodgers, what I said, no, Jimmy, when he throws a pick, he's 2 for 6 now. Shit like that. Like, Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't give the ball back, and you give him so many times, he's gonna make you pay, yada yada yada. We hear all that crap. We hear all other, the big bad stories about these good ass quarterbacks, and Jimmy's just making them look like, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna come in here and I got a good team around me. We're gonna win this game, like, and that's what's going on, from special teams to defense, even the offensive line. Like, stop shitting on Tom Compton every time he has a bad game, bro. Like, because with Tom Compton, we were like the best offensive line like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know. It's like the more we win, the more the Niner fans, like, they seem to get like kind of like entitled. Like, we ain't been here so long. You know what I mean? Just enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Especially if this is supposed to be Jimmy's last year. Like, let that man leave, in a blaze of glory. Like, because he fake suffered with us,
He
bro.
gonna
Like,
have to. He gonna have to. Darius, I'm gonna get you off so I get the next caller on. All right.
all right, for sure, bro. And he's going like you said. Hey, Croc. One more thing, man. While we're still here talking, I still need to know how to buy me that hat, man. I need to know what's going.
Right.
How do I get in?
Hit me on Twitter. Just DM me if you can. If you can't, just
you gotta
DM
check
me.
them bad boys, man.
I got one more hat. It's the.
You gotta check your DMs, bro.
I got the cool blue. One. I got a couple beanies, but all right. Now I will. I'll be looking.
For sure. Like you said, man, Jimmy's going, like, there's nothing he can do, man. Just financially, if nothing else, financially is the reason why Jimmy's gonna leave with the Super Bowl ring. All right, Croc, man. Y'all have a good day, though, man. Y'all stay blessed, man.
All right. Here we go, real quick. I got some super chats to get to. Got my guy Marquez Valentine. He says, I don't believe the locker room is totally cool with Jimmy G. The players on the team see what we see. We have a good locker room and keep things in-house. I think Juice and Kittle are Jimmy fans. I say it all the time. Listen, I was on the New York Jets when they had Mark Sanchez, right? And Mark Sanchez was a quarterback on the Jets team that went to 2 straight AFC Championship games. All right. Obviously, I got there after that. But he had some level of success, rookie year and his second year with Rex Ryan. And a lot of those guys are in the locker room when I got there. And at the end of and then when I got there in, I signed in like February or whatever it was. So I'm there. And come May or April, they draft Geno Smith. And there was that quarterback kind of controversy, but whatever the case is. And I can tell you this, nobody gave a fuck bro, I got a job to do. You know what I'm saying? I got a job to do. I have to do my job or I ain't going to be here no more. And the players understand that. I think when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo, I think guys appreciate what he's done. They have won a lot of games when he plays. They lost a lot of games when he's not playing. I think they appreciate that. I think they have bought into him, the leader that he is. But I tell you this, if Trey Lance started, if Kyle was like, all right, like we're going to Trey Lance, they got a job to do. Those dudes got a job to do. I think the fans make a bigger deal out of like the players being behind them. I get what they say. Like if you ask these players a question about Jimmy Garoppolo, what are they supposed to say? Oh yeah, hey, Eric Crocker, what do you think about Jimmy Garoppolo? Is he a good quarterback? Like, nah, that motherfucker sorry and really he a liability, but all we could do is do our job. We got to carry him all the way. Like nobody's gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna say that. It's like, what do people expect them to say? They're gonna say what in your heart, what you know that they're supposed to say. That's what they're gonna say. And I love Jimmy, man. He's been a stand-up guy. He's handled this situation extremely well. It hasn't been an ideal situation on drafting the young guy, but we have his back. He goes out there, he competes, and he leads. That's the obvious. So yeah, I get what you're saying. He got Juice, he got Kittle kind of in his corner and whatnot, but I think it's more so about like what do we expect them to say? They're not going to talk bad about him. Oh my God, Keith, where do we call in? I'm not putting up the call-in link anymore because we're already over time and I got 2 callers waiting. So I won't put the link up, but tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, you know what I'm saying? We right here. We got almost 500 y'all in here right now. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. But tomorrow, the link will be back. All right. He took points away, talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, from the team in the Packers game and the Cowboys game. We didn't have an offensive score in the Packers game. I know it's not as ideal, but I give them somewhat of a pass in the Packers game because they had to battle the elements. That was one of those games where it's just like, man, we just got to figure out how to win and get the fuck out of here. You just got to figure out a way to win and get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like that was that game. And I thought, I get it. I know a lot of people are referencing that game in the sense of stats and numbers and all that type of stuff. To me, that was the one where it's just like, man, just win. Any way, shape possible, like just win. And I thought they did a good job of that. The rest of the team is peaking and Jimmy isn't. His QB rating is trending down the last 5 games. Eventually it will catch up. Look at Tennessee. I know, and that's the one thing. Trust me, I'm very aware of that, right? I'm very aware of the fact that the luck of the Irish can run out on the 49ers at any time because they do win in spite of Jimmy Garoppolo. But he still can contribute to win. So, I talked about the caller earlier, Kenneth Goldsmith, and he was, talking about it. And I get it. It's not ideal, but hopefully the team around him continues to be really good. Or maybe Jimmy just has one of those games where he lights it up. At some point, you kind of know it's happening, but I keep thinking that, and the 49ers defense and team still comes to the rescue and then gives him the position to close it out, which is what this whole video was talking about, and being clutch in that last moment. All right, here we go. Jimmy is the school kid who ditches class all year, fakes being sick, misses her last week of the year crunch time, and he finishes the year with a C-. Does just enough to get a passing grade. I give him a C+. I give him a C+. What do you think about that? You can't get a C+? And we got a lot of, if I missed while I was reading those, there were a lot of comments that went. Okay, here we go. I see this one. Let me start at. So I might have missed some of the super chats. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm back. Caught up. We got Hate Mason. He says, do you think with Trent Williams being gone and the Rams having Donald and Von Miller and Floyd, do you think that this is a high risk of losing? Is he gone? Please don't tell me he's gone. I hope that's not the case. I haven't seen anything that says Trent Williams is out. Not yet, at least. We'll probably find out more Wednesday, but we need Trent Williams. Von Miller is on some stuff right now. So, yeah, we need Trent Williams. All right, here we go. I'm bringing back my guy 49ers pimping. He wasn't able to finish his take, but go ahead, bro.
Man, my fault. My internet, man. I'm gonna make it quick. I think a lot of the fan base been listening to Grant Cohn too much, man. Respect to him. He's doing a great thing over there. But anytime Jimmy does anything bad, it don't matter if he win or not. It's crazy. But they act like elite quarterbacks just grow on trees. They don't.
Right.
There's only a handful in the league. There's only a handful in the world. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, every elite quarterback, except maybe Lamar Jackson, every elite quarterback has elite wide receivers. Elite. Jimmy has never thrown to Stephon Diggs, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Tyreek Hill. Like, I love Debo. I love Brandon Ayuk. They great. And they ain't even reached their prime yet. You know what I'm saying? But
I think Debo is more of an elite football player than he is just
Denny and his wide receiver. Exactly. Because if you remember, Debo led the league in drops, I think either this year.
Oh, we lost my guy again.
If you remember,
okay.
If you remember, Croc, I think the closest thing I've seen Jimmy have to upper tier wide receiver, just because he was older and in his prime, was like an Emmanuel Sanders. Well, he wasn't in his prime, but he was seasoned.
Yeah. All right, 49er pimping. We're gonna have to get that Wi-Fi. We're gonna have to get that Wi-Fi right. He cut out again. I do see people, some people, hey, Debo is an elite wide receiver. George Kittle is elite. Definitely. George Kittle is elite. To me, Debo Samuel, he's an elite football player. Like, just football player, like, he's elite. Just figure it out. Just get the ball in his hands. I think Kyle Shanahan does an amazing job of doing that. Okay, we got 49ers pimping back. We're gonna keep it rolling with him. All right, here we go.
I'm back again. Okay, look, I was gonna give up. Man, look, I love
They said you on the McDonald's Wi-Fi.
I probably am, man. I gotta get it right, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get it right. But look, man, I'm gonna end it. Croc, I love your show. I love what you do. I love my 49er fans.
All right. We lost him again. All right, Croc, don't let him disrespect our weapons. Yeah, Kittle for sure elite. Debo is elite. He's an elite football player. Like, he's just an elite football player. Everybody that I know, they love Debo Samuel. Debo Samuel is like people that have their fans of other teams and whatnot. Like, Debo is like their favorite player. My big brother, diehard Cowboy fan. My brother loves Debo Samuel. My brother hates the 49ers. He hates everything about the 49ers, but he loves Debo Samuel. So Debo Samuel is an elite football player. He's a little non-traditional, even though I know somebody puts this stat. 1,400 yards receiving, amazing. It's a little non-traditional in the sense of but he's elite. He's elite. He's an elite football player. The echo chamber of Jimmy sucks. Should listen to the players. The media makes a good convo, not good analysis or of talent. I touched on this. I also said, I don't know what the players are supposed to say when they're asked about Jimmy Garoppolo. I will say this though. Richard Sherman still vouching for Jimmy G when he's not on the team anymore. I think that's good, right? That's good for the Jimmy camp. That's definitely good for the Jimmy camp. Appreciate the contribution. But Mambas, appreciate the contribution there. I do think that's the highest. People have said all this different stuff about Jimmy G and whatnot, and a lot of the guys have. Some of it I take with a grain of salt, but the Richard Sherman vouching for him when he doesn't have to, I think that kind of speaks a little bit more. And Richard Sherman not gonna hold his tongue for nobody. I think that speaks kind of volumes to how people feel about Jimmy G. Maybe there is a lot of truth to it. I think some of it is just kind of what they're supposed to say. His wife, I heard him talking stupid and said, "No, I cut." Oh man, no, I can't let him go out like that. So we're bringing 49ers pimping back. He's back. All right, go ahead, finish the tape, man. I can't let you go out like that, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
man. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Nah, man. Look, Jimmy ain't that bad, bro. He's not elite. Jimmy's not elite. I'm not. I see a lot of comments. I'm not saying that he's like the best thing to go, but he's not that bad, man. And we win games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave you with this, Croc. He's never played a full season and not went to the Super Bowl as it stands. And I'm out.
All right. We out with that 49er pimping. I got one person in the chat, and I thought I was getting out of here. I have a meeting I have to get ready for. Underdog Fantasy. Need that money. Make sure if y'all know already, man, download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to underdogfantasy.com, promo code Crocky. Go make you some money, man. We're making money all the time. All right, but I saw one person. Who was it? It was somebody said, I'm not following if I can't get on and talk. Where was it at? Ike. All right, Ike. Ike is the 100% last caller. All right, Ike, I'm going to let you get your take off, baby. Get your take off. While we wait for Ike to get on, we got over 400 of you in here right now. We've had close to around 500 majority of the show. I appreciate everybody that has contributed to this awesome show. Y'all have kept me, 30 minutes longer than what we were expecting. But shout out to everybody in here. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. All 400 of y'all, man. All 400 of y'all. Ike, where you at? Say, I can't follow if I can't talk. What's the number to talk? I put the link in there. All right, I'll post it again just in case you missed. Nobody else clicked that damn link. All right, but Ike, you click the link. Where you at, Ike? I'm waiting. Where's Ike at, y'all? Where's Ike at? I know, right? Ike better have liked this. Ike, we waiting on you, baby. We waiting on you. Somebody want to do a countdown? This is what we're going to do. Nah, I ain't going to do the countdown, but we waiting on you, Ike. Where you at? While we wait on Ike, hit the button like my guy Rocky Mountain Razorback said. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. All right. There it looks like Ike froze up, man. He got cold feet, left me at the altar. All right. I appreciate everybody that's in here today, man. Everybody that contributed to the show. Hit the like button, subscribe button, all that good stuff. Man, awesome conversation. I want to bring a different perspective. You know, Jimmy Garoppolo. I do. Like, this isn't like I'm doing something for clicks or anything like that. I literally think Jimmy Garoppolo is clutch in the last 3 minutes. Now, the other 57 minutes of the game, it's highly debatable. All right. But last 3 minutes, not many I roll with over Jimmy Garoppolo. So I appreciate everybody, man. I appreciate this great show. We're going to be back here 6:30 a.m. Pacific tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. It's time to get out of here, man. We are out. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Croc Talk TV podcast. Peace.